Hey guys, welcome to the Model Citizen Podcast. We're your hosts, Hunter and Michaela. We are so excited to have you here. All right, let's dive in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast.
Guys.
It is chaos already. It's Monday morning for us. It's Wednesday or Thursday for you guys. And it's a beautiful, sunny, balmy day out. We're going to have clear skies, wind of 23.
Clear skies, wind of 23
mph.
miles per hour, which is so crazy when you think about it.
I know.
Do
Isn't
you
that
know
actually
that we've
crazy? Is that
had-
like really crazy wind? Is that high
I think
wind?
that is a high wind. That's like a good sailing, like high knotted wind. Did you know that
High
we just had the
knots.
windiest spring on record?
Hmm?
Yeah, we just had the windiest spring on record in the U.S.
Oh, like all of the U.S.?
Yeah. Isn't that
Well, that kind of
crazy?
makes sense. It has. I feel like I'm always used to it being windy here, though.
Yeah, true.
Because we'll have the Santa Anas,
Yeah,
as
and
we
you
know
guys-
if you've watched
The
the holiday.
this entire podcast is going to be about weather.
It's weather. Weather related. We are nothing if not.
Oh, weather.
They're not called meteorologists. They're called, right?
Well, yeah,
or are
no,
they
Are you kidding?
meteorologists,
Yeah,
right?
that's
For
who-
the weather?
Yeah.
But they don't study meteors.
They know when one's coming to
No.
the earth.
No, but the people that do the weather.
They're the weathermen.
What are
women.
people who study? Someone is yelling at their
Meteorologist.
They use scientific principles to understand, observe, and forecast Earth's atmospheric phenomena. Okay, including the weather.
And
okay,
also
well,
the meteorologist's job, we told you guys this is all about weather. A meteorologist's job I have when I went to ABC Studios for the first time. Was it ABC or NBC? One of them.
was it ABC or NBC?
Or-
was
no,
it
it was actually
Fox?
Good
Could it have
Morning
been
America.
CNN. Could it have been
It
Good
was Good
Morning? It
Morning
could have been
America.
Today Show. She's going through all of her television
I fear
spots.
it was Good
This is
Morning
just your way to flex
America.
all of the times you've been on TV. We know.
It was when I premiered The Not Cover. But anyways, after
Mhm.
that, they like took me down to the studio and I was like, ooh, I want to see like the weather. And they let me kind of like have a hand. You were with me, weren't you?
I don't think I was with you
Oh,
for
no.
that. Mm-mm.
And they let me like kind of have a hand at it, not on live on TV. But I have to say,
Sure.
hard job.
Imagine they're like, get in there.
Yeah, get on in there.
You're on
and
in 3,
see what-
2, 1. And you're like,
Hard
you're like,
job.
good morning, Cincinnati.
I'm
It is hard because they got the green screen,
and it's like
right?
backwards. Yeah. Also,
Mhm,
weather
mhm.
people are always the hottest.
They are, but like also, I feel like
They're a little too hot now. No?
They're a little too hot. Yeah, the
like-
weather people need to really chill. It's almost like, are you going to be a porn star or are you going to be a meteorologist?
I know, dude.
Because your body is banging either way. Like the women, I'm just like, I
I know.
am
I'm like,
no
I'm not
better
gonna
than a
watch
man.
the weather with my husband. I'll tell you that.
I'm not going to
much.
watch. You can't even watch the weather these days with your husband
No.
without some girl with a Coke bottle body and
I
absolutely
know.
slamming butt
Slam. Oh, they always
stacked,
have their
and they turn to the side.
butts on
and
those
it's just
girls.
whip.
Wow, dude.
It's just a shelf.
Wow, gorgeous.
It is simply
And the
the
most
mom from The
luscious-
Incredibles.
luscious hair.
Hair.
Can we talk about? Okay. Can we
Inches
talk
in,
about
wig laid to the
laid?
gods.
Laid to the gods. Can we talk about how two things? Number one,
Mm.
every single character, whether it be
Mhm.
like Pixar, like you were mentioning, The Incredibles, like the
Mhm.
women are, the waists is an 8-inch waist
Right. A pencil.
and a 67-inch hip.
Right.
And Brian is always just like, okay.
I'm sure Brian is like blushing in the theater. He's like,
Blushing. Yeah, dude. Like they're like thick with it on the
the
bottom.
men are. There are literal porn though of this stuff.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, of course.
You
Leave
name it.
it-
There's porn. There's
leave
Family Guy
it.
porn. There's Simpsons porn. There's all
God,
of it.
Nothing is sacred.
You can't have any. No, you can't. There's My Little Pony porn.
Don't
apparently.
tell me that. I get, dude.
Well, because they have like the guys that are into My Little Pony. I don't remember what they're
I
called,
don't
but
like this.
they're called pony.
We're gonna get demonetized,
lovers.
and we can't because we're making. So
I'm going
much
to
money.
demonetize us myself because that's absolutely as a species of humanity, it's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Now I'm not kink shaming,
No, but yuck.
but at one point it's questionable.
No, but yuck.
No, but ew.
The other thing is I was shopping for Ava the other day, and I was like getting her and Hudson some like shorts and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool. I got Hudson settled, and I went to Ava's section. Why are the shorts for 2 and 3-year-olds and 4 and 5 and 6 literally exponentially
Shorter.
tinier and shorter? I
Yeah.
literally was holding these shorts up and I was like, I would not feel comfortable putting my daughter in a pair of these shorts. I just
Yeah.
wouldn't. So I literally couldn't buy any. I was like, oh my God, I have to find longer shorts. They're literally like
Yeah,
little
it's
booty
little baby
shorts.
hooker wear. Yeah, no, it literally
What's
is.
going
It's like
on?
a high cut. It's like a high
I'm not
cut
even kidding,
80s
Michaela.
swimsuit.
I'm not even
No,
no,
it's
literally
not
go into the
okay.
swimsuit section. It's like little teeny tiny bikinis. Like they have like it was just
I
so
know.
jarring.
I've seen it. When I've walked through places and I see the kids section, I walk by the girls and everything is like tiny. They've got like little crop tops. I'm just like, what exactly are we doing here? And then it begs the question like, is it intrinsically, but like, it's like the children should have clothing that cover their body. That's the whole point. Why is the boys longer and the girl should? Do you know what I mean?
It
Why?
doesn't make any
There's
sense.
no there's no like utility reason why, if that
No, it
makes
doesn't make
sense.
any sense. And it makes me so mad. And so now I'm like, and I'm like, it's just no
It's
little
upsetting.
girl needs to be in that. Right?
I mean, it is so cute though when you see a girly pop, like a little girl, and she's got like a bikini on because she's just like
No, it's
got like a belly out.
so
You know what I
cute.
mean?
But it's like y'all ruined it for all of us. You know what I
That's
mean?
the thing.
That's the
That's the
thing.
thing.
It's just like, yeah, it's so cute and like girlhood. And it's like wear that and then wear like pigtails and do all that. But y'all ruined it,
Right.
man.
This is what I was saying though, yesterday when I was telling you about because I've been now I'm back in my Orthodox Judaism phase where
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
researching more about it and just looking just because you guys know I love a religion, and the fact that Orthodox Jewish men they cannot touch any women,
Hmm.
and I just like to an extent I can understand how like we as Americans and like maybe people who like or if you're like non-denominational, you're like not involved in any kind of like religion that's restrictive like that, you'd be like, "Oh, like that's so weird." But like at the same time, how much do you wish that men literally by religion and law couldn't touch us at all? Not even touch our hands, not touch our
Well, I
shoulders?
told you, and you were like, I remember that.
Yes.
I used to
Yes.
work in Bed-Stuy, and if you know
Mhm.
Bed-Stuy, if you know, it's a predominantly Orthodox Jewish community.
Absolutely.
And when I first moved to New York, I would shoot there quite often. And I remember going in to pay for something, and I had like given the man cash working behind the counter. He was an Orthodox Jewish man. And I had given him cash, and then I had given him some change. And I had like touched his hand in a way that was more than just dropping change in his hand. I can't even remember the exchange.
You just like you
It
grazed
was,
you grabbed his
yeah.
wrist
I grabbed his wrist
and you
and
brought him towards you and placed his hand upon your breast.
I mean, like, dude, you would have thought that's what I did.
The way you acted,
And
yeah.
I remember being like, because I had no idea at the time. So I
Right.
was like, whoa, because the reaction was, I,
Like he yanked his hand away,
yeah. And it was like, felt very,
like you had violated him.
yes. And I
Right,
had
right, right,
never
right.
felt that before. And I was like, whoa. And then I had later on learned, and I was like, ah, had I had known,
Yeah.
I would have A, never done that, and
Right, of
B, would have been a
course.
lot more understanding.
Yeah, of course. And listen, this is
um,
what we're here for. We're here to
we're here to
spread the good
spread the
word
good word.
about different things and cultures. And I just found that really
Can I say though, and I forgot to tell you
I
this
kind of
yesterday,
like
on the
it. Yeah.
way back from Switzerland on my flight, the entire business class was, I think besides maybe me and like 3 other people, was an entire family, an Orthodox Jewish family, like massive family of like, there was maybe 13 of them. And they were so fun. I sat next to the like the fun, not the head patriarch, but like the
One of
patriarch, the
them.
dad, like one of the dads who was like the
Ah,
main dad.
right.
And he was like, yeah, and he reminded me of Martin's brother a little bit, like his
Oh,
like
right, yeah.
personality and just his vibe and everything. And he was so fun. He sat directly next to me, and he was just great. And he was like, yeah, we took my father who is 93 and in a wheelchair. He's like, he's right up there. We took him skiing. He was like, we like strapped him on and we went skiing. And he was
Oh my
like
god,
telling me how they were like
fun.
going down. And it was just they seemed like such a fun crew.
Yeah.
And we were just giggling, and he was awesome. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
love this. But were traveling in full on suits.
They do. They wear like their full suits. They
Mm-hmm.
wear their various hat wear, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's pretty cunty.
Love it. I
The
literally love it.
hair,
A menswear? No, the hair. Iconic.
the hair is giving. It's giving wig.
Giving.
Do you know why they have the curlies on their head?
Why?
Now someone can correct me. I think it's called peos,
Mm-hmm.
and it is to remind them in the Torah. The Torah, I believe, states that if you are a farmer, you're supposed to take 3/4 of your farm for yourself and leave a quarter of it for the poor. So people can come
Mm.
and whatever's left they can have, right? And so in their way of like reminding themselves of this and to keep, it's basically like leave room for the poor and like support and all of that, they leave 1/4 of their hair. Do you know what I mean? Like the scalp, the head is the field, and they leave a quarter
Love.
of it, and they
Iconic.
do that to like remind them. And I'm like,
We love a
yes,
metaphor.
but we love a metaphor. And I just like think that that's so interesting because it's like it's not just oh, I have to keep in my mind that I have to,
Yeah.
save room for those who are less fortunate. It's like a physical on your body reminder
Yeah.
to
Now, then there's, of
always,
course, the other
yeah.
side where if you've listened to like Julia Hart,
Yes, of
who
course.
is the current standings, and she just recently, I think, won the case. I think she's the current standing CEO of Elite, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Her whole show was very interesting because then she goes into the whole aspect
My
of like
unorthodox.
getting out of it all.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. That whole religion is so interesting. And then also, what religion is Amish?
I think Amish is just a version of like Christianity.
Because I'll tell you what,
It's a conservative Christian tradition that emerged from the Anabaptist movement during the Protestant Reformation. Dude, if we're not
and
a
I knew that.
religious podcast,
I knew that.
don't ever say that we're
Dude,
not.
and if you look at our reviews, you might think we're
You may
you
think,
may
yeah.
you may say, hey, they're religious and we rebuke.
Yeah.
Um, I will say this though.
Yeah.
There's one thing about the Amish. They're gonna
Mm.
make something so freaking sturdy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And they're gonna bake the best food,
And make the best fried chicken you've ever
make the
had in your life.
best fried chicken,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the best stromboli in
And the
Gaza.
best
Okay,
stromboli. And that's on period.
that's on period. So I don't know
Yeah.
what else to tell anybody. Okay.
I don't know what else to tell anybody. You know what it is? I love community. I love the idea of community.
Yeah.
I love the idea of like people coming together and supporting each other. Like that's what's really cool about like even the Amish in these Orthodox Jewish religion. Like they are so tight knit and they look after each other.
Right.
Like if one person is struggling, they all come and help.
Yeah.
Do you know what
A
I mean?
concept.
Like that I think is that concept. That's what I think is like so amazing about all of these different, like, I don't know, whatever. You can call it religion, you can call it like a cultural thing too. A lot of times Judaism, they say it's more like even a culture
Yeah.
than just like a religion. Like it's just such like it impacts and it informs their culture so much.
Right.
But yeah, I don't really know how we got on that topic.
I don't know, but switching gears
Mhm,
to
mhm,
something very
mhm.
relatable. I went to a premiere last night.
Dude, last night was a
Last night was
movie.
a movie, literally. It was a movie.
Last night was a recession indicator. That's what everyone's saying these days. They're like, last night was a recession indicator.
So I got invited to the Another Simple Favor premiere. I have not seen the first one, but let me just tell you this right off the bat. That was one of the most fun, like, thriller movies I have seen in a minute. I am not like a thriller person, but that was right up my alley. It was just enough where it was like that fun, poppy, bubblegummy, whodunit kind of
Right.
thing. It was very Blake Lively is absolutely brilliant in it.
Mm,
Brilliant.
mm.
It was just so much fun. I was
Yeah.
honestly glued to the screen.
Right.
So my husband and I went, and I just want to tell you something. Okay. They were like, if you want to do the red carpet, arrive between 5 and 5:30. And I was like, okay, like we don't need to do the red carpet. Okay. Like I was like, whatever, we'll just go, we'll watch the
Mm.
movie, we'll support. And have fun with some friends. And we got there at like 6, and they were like, "Oh, Hunter, like come and do the red carpet." Now, ask me if I arrived at 6 and I came and I was the very last person there, and the people in front of me was the entire cast. Okay. And now
Oh,
this
of
was a
course.
massive red carpet. When I say
Mhm.
massive, I mean like it was like stadium seating almost, of people literally like applauding as people come on the carpet, right?
Right.
So I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to follow the cast.
They're like, "Yeah, it's the cast, but
No,
also
Michaela,
just wait,
literally
stay in your
just
seats."
okay. But listen,
Okay, okay.
they were like, not only was it the cast, okay, it was like, okay, yeah, like Blake and Anna and like Henry and Michelle Monroe, which by the way, my
Michelle Maroney.
God, Michaela,
I can't believe you saw
I don't,
the
and
Michelle
you know
Maroney
how
in
in
person,
person, okay,
and
and
he is stunning.
stunning,
Stunning,
stunning. So
breathtaking.
is Henry Golding,
Of course he is.
guys.
Henry Golding is our Crazy Rich Asians
Love.
king.
So they're like, yeah, them. And then, it's like Ryan Reynolds. And then it's like Hugh Jackman is there. And then it was like
Right.
Paul Giamatti and Emily Blunt were there.
Mm,
And so it's like,
mhm.
I was literally, as it was going on, I was like, please, God. I was like, oh my God, I am not going out, Michaela. I'm not. I'm literally not. But then, of course, they were like, okay, come on. Like, they were like,
Why didn't you wanna go out?
because Michaela, first of all, they normally close the red carpet after the cast. Okay.
Yeah,
So like
right. Because it's
me,
like every other star, and then the cast comes through, and that's like the ending
yeah. And it's like,
wrap up
I'm
of the
not
carpet.
even, I shouldn't even be on the red carpet. Let's just be a so for real. Okay. But
Please,
so
you're
then,
invited for the you are invited for reasons because you personally know Blake, but also because of like your cachet within the industry. Like you should be on the red
okay. But
carpet.
Michaela, literally, so like, they were like, I think
We
we
need to
might,
get your Getty images up.
no, listen, they were like, I think
Up.
we might close the red carpet. And I said, please, no worries. I was like, I
Yeah,
have,
you're like, no,
no,
really.
literally,
I
I told the guy, I
insist.
go, please. I said, I do not. But by this time, everyone's walked off the red carpet now. And then he's like, you know what? I think they're going to keep it open for you. Like, I think they're going to keep it up. So
Like, thank
they
you.
share they're like, okay. And Hunter McGrady and Michaela,
No.
a smattering, because it's like, how do you follow Blake Lively, Anna Kendrick, Henry, Michelle, Paul Giamatti, Emily Blunt, Ryan Reynolds, Tisha. I literally, like, I was like, okay, like, everyone was packing up their cameras. Everyone was packing up their cameras,
Backing it
Michaela.
up, backing
I
it up.
was like, no,
No, no.
no.
It's like that Family Guy thing that I sent you where it's like they come out and then they're like Laura Linney and it's just her and one person snaps a photo and he's like, "Oops, sorry." Was you did your Laura
Michaela, that
Linney
was
in this
literally me. I was
story?
like, oh my God. And then they were like, do you want to keep going? And I was like, I
They're like
can't.
Scarlett Johansson and Laura Linney. Sorry.
What do you think Laura Lenny was in this? Um, wait, but literally,
Like
Michaela, they were like, okay, and if you want to keep going down, I was like, I don't. I was like, I
you're like,
really
I'm
don't.
honestly so mortified I could throw up.
No, I
So I think
literally,
I'm actually good on the red carpet. Thank you.
I told the guy who was like working the red carpet. I said that. I said, I'm horrified. I said, I just want to go and say hi to my friend and tell her how proud I am of her and excited I am to be there. And then like get a selfie with my husband and like go watch the movie. Cause I was like, I cannot, I literally cannot. And it was like,
Wow.
there was like a whole crew of people watching this. It wasn't even
Right.
like just
Of
the
course.
photographers. It was like
Do you know what it
fans.
kind of sounds like? Do you remember when we did the iHeartRadio carpet and
It's
there was like
exactly,
stadium
that's what it
seating?
is.
Like
Yeah.
it was like people like they had bleachers set up
Yes.
basically for all of the press that was there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's intimidating, I will say. That is intimidating.
Dude, it was just, and then they were like announcing on like like every time someone came in, they had a loudspeaker saying like, okay, let's welcome Blake Lively. And I
No.
was just like, I can't. It was like Hunter McGrady. And it was like,
No,
because
not
it's like, we don't,
that.
dude, listen, it was horrifying. I was like, oh my God, I can't. But
Dude,
anyways, it was a great movie, and yeah,
back to Michelle Maroney. Now, is he very tall?
he's like probably 6'2",
Okay, so
6'3".
he's not like towering.
Well, here's the
They
thing
always
about
pair him in things with very small women, I think.
right, but
Do you-
like Blake's tall.
that's true.
But like, here's the thing,
How tall is Blake?
like
5'10"?
5'10", yeah.
My
But like
height-ish?
the
Yeah.
thing is that like you know how Hollywood is, right? Especially with
Yeah,
men.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
our
yeah,
dad is an
yeah.
actor. We have been in this business for so long.
Mm.
Um, everybody appears bigger on screen, right?
Yeah, it's so
And I was
true.
explaining
Yeah.
this to Brian last night because he was saying the same thing. And I was like, well, the thing is like, it's true when they say the camera adds 10 pounds, right?
Yeah. It adds 2 feet and 10 pounds,
Yeah,
honestly,
right.
which is great for us.
Yeah.
Which is precisely why that's the only reason why I've never pursued acting.
That's the only
Nothing to do with
reason.
talent or skill.
No,
It's just because I would just be, I'm too tall.
absolutely. Absolutely. You're too tall. But that's why dad's always like, also not us airing dad's dirty laundry. No, but that's
Mm,
why dad's always like, yeah, they like anytime he goes on screen,
yeah.
I remember when he was like, yeah, when he was doing Daybreak and they did a scene of like everyone's backs and they like
Right.
scanned over someone's back and then they scanned over someone else's back. They were looking over a cemetery and then they scanned over dad's back and it took like 15 seconds, because he's a big guy.
15 whole seconds, yeah. Because he's like shoulders and all that. Yeah,
He's a big guy in
of
real
course.
life.
There's nothing I think more shocking than when people see actors in person.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like especially with like Coachella this weekend and people seeing actors and celebrities in person, you don't realize how small everyone is. Like
Yeah.
you guys don't understand. Everyone is tiny. Austin Butler, tiny. Glenn Powell,
Yeah.
tiny.
I mean, Glenn
All these
Powell's
guys,
very tiny.
they're 5'8"
Yeah.
and like somehow on screen they make them seem like they're 6'4", and it's like,
It's
okay.
also the way you shoot, right? Like it's like when you take a picture, it's like if you shoot from down up, you're gonna look taller and bigger.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know.
Oh, don't I know it? Don't I
We
know
love
it?
to shoot from down up. But it was a really fun night and we had a blast. And the Real
It was a
Housewives of New
movie.
Jersey were there. I forgot to tell you that. Yeah, Dorinda was there. I know. She's New York, huh? Yeah. No, Dorinda was there. I know. Iconic. I know. Crazy. I forgot to tell you.
What?
And what's the other
You
one? What's the other one's name?
you
Margie? No, with the pigtails? She's Jersey. Margie.
That's Marge.
Marge.
Large Marge.
Large Marge. She's itty
Just
bitty.
kidding.
And she, by the way, she looks
You?
great.
She looks amazing.
Whatever she's doing.
She's had great work.
Oh
She's had great
my
work.
God. I was like,
She looks incredible.
she looks
She's
like
had
she's
great work.
35.
I want to get her daughter's number. You love.
Well, I was also saving it for the podcast.
What? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But for the people at home, Hunter loves to leave things out.
I know.
She'll literally be like, oh my God, I danced with Ludacris like 4 weeks ago. I totally forgot to tell you.
Oh, I know.
And I'm like, what?
I think that I just like, because the thing is this, by the time when you
I don't even care about the other celebrities. You saw Dorinda? Like,
Yeah, no, I know, dude.
How could you, how dare you not tell me?
I
How
was
very
about to
dare
ask her for a
you?
photo. I'm not even kidding. I was about to ask
These are
her.
people that we've watched our
I know,
whole
I know.
lives.
I've
I've seen 2 movies with Michelle Maroney. You know what I mean? I watched Dorinda endlessly.
I know. I should have just said
Her
clip.
leaving Traders early was one of the worst things that ever happened to me.
Absolutely. I should have said clip.
Clip.
Clip. I know Brian, and it's so funny because like Brian's a low key New Jersey Housewives mega fan, and he was like, "Oh my god,
He loves New Jersey. He
Yeah.
loves New York. He loves the girlies."
Also, who was the guy in America's Next Top Model? Not Jay. He's like super like has like he's like super like sculpted. Has like the gray hair. He was like one of those like iconic judges. God, what's his name? Is his name Jay?
Well, there's Mr. J. There's Nigel Barker. Was it Nigel, the
No.
photographer? But was it Mr. J?
Maybe it was Mr. J.
Let me see. Yeah, it had to have been him. J. Manuel.
Yeah. He was there too. And it was just so funny because I was like,
Was he striking or
No,
what?
striking. And the thing is I was like, I
You're
was
like, hi, I'm really good friends with Tyra.
yeah, I was
What's
like,
going
I
on?
literally was like gonna be like, hey,
Like, I know Tyra. And
here's
he's like,
something she
everyone knows
posted about
Tyra.
me
Yeah.
long
You have it locked and
ago.
loaded in
Yeah,
your
I was like, I don't know, I just
favorites.
like stumbled upon this as we were walking in here. So weird. But you know what I
You're
will
like, it's my
say?
background. So funny.
You know what I will say at these
I actually can't
events?
believe you don't have that as your background. You should have
Yeah, I
Tyra's
really
posting of
should.
you as your
I
background
know. I
on
really
your
should
phone.
repost it again just to wet everyone's whistle and remind them.
Thank
Um,
you.
I will say this.
Okay.
I will say that at these events, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to get close to one person and one person only.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the people bringing around the food. They will
Right.
find me in a crowd. They will
Yes.
I will tell them, I will give them a wink and
Mhm.
blow
A
them a
little
kiss, and I will say, be flirty in the
keep it
best
coming.
way to both men and women.
Yeah,
They will be the ones to find me in a crowded room, and we will make a
absolutely.
pact.
And
S-
yes, there is an agreement made
yes.
between you and the person passing the food.
Yeah.
You keep coming through here,
Yeah. And I
and I will
will.
keep eating the food.
Thank you.
Don't you worry.
Absolutely. And I will take
Thank
2
you.
of each.
I will take two. It's for my husband,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's for him,
Yeah. Don't worry
as
about
he
it.
already has one.
As he has
It's
2
for
of his own.
him. Right. No, literally those things when there's a good here's the thing. You're either at a place that's giving you like bullshit pass arounds or so
Yeah. So good.
fire
These were
that you're
so
like, I
fire.
need 12 of these.
Yeah.
Like
These were
sometimes it's like
fire.
a lame crudité
Yeah.
and it's like a
No.
carrot in like a quinoa salad. I'm like, bitch,
Mm-mm, give me the mac and
get
cheese
this out.
bites.
Where are the crab
No,
rangoons?
literally, they had crab bites last night.
Excuse me, where are the crab
Where's the crab
rangoons?
rangoon?
I need a crab
They
rangoon, thank
had
you.
crab bites last night, and I don't even eat crab.
Crab bite, like a crab cake?
Crab cakes.
Mm,
That would knock your little socks off. Okay.
I
And I don't
do wear
even
little
eat crab
socks.
cakes, but those knocked my
Right.
little socks off.
Ooh,
Like
I
a
love a like a little slider.
oh my God. Well, literally, when I was doing my wedding, we had you and I, nobody like in our party got to even experience it, but like we had
I have
little,
no idea what you served at your
I
wedding.
know,
I
we
have
had
no
little
clue.
grilled cheese and tomato
Did you
soup
really?
dippers. Yeah.
Hello?
You
Hello,
did
where
come
was
with me to
I?
the tasting. But yeah, we had like little grilled cheese
Oh, you're right, I
dippers, and we
did.
had like little
Yes.
spinach and artichoke puffs and like things like that. Like delicious, dude. It's like
You guys
give
also had a whole
me
candy table. Like you guys
and no
really
one touched
went.
a fucking thing. Do you know that we literally there was only one bag of candy that was gone. We had a whole bag because they put it out too late. I'm
I also think they
pissed.
put it off to the side, like to the corner.
Yeah.
It's like you need to be like in the middle of your
Yeah.
guys' wedding was so extra. Now that I'm thinking about it, you
It's
guys had like teepees for the kids.
and
Like you
and then we
guys,
had a kids table with customized coloring books with
I mean,
like
literally, you guys
cartoon
went
photos of
all
Brian and I.
out. Martin and I were so bare
I
bones
know,
of
but that's all you
everything.
need though. You don't
It actually
need
kind of can be. Yeah. I feel like, but it's whatever you want it
the
to
other
be.
stuff just goes to
Actually,
waste, honestly.
when I was on the trip, if you guys didn't know, I went to Hilton Head for an
And now
influencer
you're
thing.
in London.
One of the girls, she had just gotten engaged in November, and she was like, I can't decide if I want to have like a big wedding or if I want to have a small intimate wedding. And I was like, honestly, what's going to bless you the most? Like, do you feel like a big
Yeah.
one's going to stress you out, or do you feel like a small one's going to make you feel like you missed out on something? Like,
I
whatever
think
makes you like feel like it's going to bless you the most, do that.
I think if I were to do it again,
Mm.
I would do honestly like a small little wedding in the forest.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you guys were more like
We were like garden
paradise.
paradise vibes. Like
You
I would
guys
do
were
something
like,
really small, super low
you guys were
key.
like White Lotus
Yeah,
energy
totally like Four
as far
Seasons
as like
vibes.
the vibes, the setting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I would do something very, very low key, wear like a little sheath dress, and not even. I would put the rest of the money
But that's
in
because you
savings.
already had your wedding.
That's true.
And this is the thing. And I was telling her, I was like, I feel like when you've had your wedding, it's easy to
That's true
say,
because during the
I would
time I
do it
was
to
like, oh, I want to be.
also, yeah, because like when you haven't had it yet, you're
Yeah,
like, I want it to be grand. But then when you have had it, you have all those feelings, you're good. You check those
yeah.
boxes and you're like, I could do. So that's why I was telling her, I'm like, just like really search your soul and do what you want to do that's going to make you the happiest. Like,
Yeah.
I know for us, if we had spent like so much extra money
Yeah.
on things like maybe like a personalized napkin, you know, how they do that, or like
Yeah.
lots
Oh
of
my
like gifts for
God.
people when they leave, or like personalized little everythings, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't have like liked
Dude,
that,
right? We had a
but I
personalized drink bar.
understand.
Did you even know that? Sponsor did we remember? It was sponsored by
Yes, of course I
Smirnoff.
remember that. Of course I remember that because Smirnoff sent us Smirnoff
Oh,
bottles that
yeah.
they painted our faces on
Yeah,
them.
where are
A,
those?
B, where I have
Oh,
them.
you have mine?
Also, yes, I have
Oh, wow, dude.
everybody's.
Leave it to you to, like, make sure you have all my memories stored
Of course,
in your head
I have
and
all your
physical.
memories. Yes, I have your memories stored in my head and in all of my cabinets in my
If I
garage.
ever
Yes, I
lose
also
my
have your wedding
memory, I'm like,
dresses.
"Just ask
Yes,
Michaela, she'll know."
literally, they could just pull it out, Harry Potter style, just pull out my memories and put them into you.
God,
That's
seriously,
what you
dude.
can do.
I mean, we're gonna
You
get
know
there.
what's crazy? I there's a Black Mirror. There's a new season of Black Mirror, and
Yeah.
in one of the episodes, the girl has a well. I guess I don't want to. I'm not gonna. I won't spoil
Well,
anything.
okay,
But
fast forward if you're watching Black Mirror.
it's not a big deal. It's just like the girl basically. She goes into a coma,
Mhm.
and in order to like wake her up and like give her you know everything back, there's this company, and basically you have to like pay a subscription to like be like alive essentially, and eventually the guy like can't afford the subscription anymore. Yeah, it's like
But,
crazy.
but Harmony works on
I
so our
know.
brother's girlfriend just did a brain
Mhm.
surgery, a live
Mhm.
brain surgery where she was able
Yeah.
to attend. I think
The awake, and I think the person was
the
awake.
person was awake. And was it
Yeah.
because they were
I want to see.
inserting a chip? I can't remember. We should
I
have
don't
her on the
know.
podcast, honestly, and talk about it. Because
I
she is
know.
so brilliant and she's going to be like the next
So
wave.
smart.
They're working on chips for like Alzheimer's patients.
She just like makes me feel dumb,
No, literally. I'm like,
you
oh, hey,
know?
yeah, that's
I'm
so
like,
cool. Like
"Oh,
open brain surgery live, like awake.
right."
Same.
I'd be like, "LOL, huh?" if I was in there like
Literally,
making
I
jokes.
went to
Everyone's like,
Trader
"Hey,
Joe's and
can
got
we?"
Scandinavian swimmers today. Like, please,
Girl,
God.
don't even talk to me about what I did today. I bought a little fuzzy goose outfit for one of my Labubu's. Like, let's not even talk about who's doing what. That's pointless. let's not
God.
let's not get into a competition about who's doing more pointless things with their lives. Because I am at the top of that totem pole. Thank you.
I know, but every time she
Thank
posts, I'm like, oh
you.
my God. She'll like post about what they're doing for like Alzheimer's and how they're like making chips and stuff. I would absolutely be like, put a chip in. No problem.
I At this
I don't
point,
care
I'm
who's
like,
listening. What do you want? I don't
what do
care.
you
I have
want?
nothing. Literally have nothing to hide.
Babe, I'm on
I
social
mean,
media.
I am out
I'm on
here.
it. You know where I am. Like anyone can know where I am at all times. Like mom was telling me that they did a poll recently of like young kids.
Yeah.
77% of them said that they wanted to grow up to be influencers. And I'm like, do you guys realize? I don't think that they realize that the second you put yourself out in the
Yeah.
public, like we have and like many creators, whatever do, you're also up for criticism
Well, that, but
in the way
also
you live your life. And that's fair to me.
that, but also I think that people have such a misunderstanding on influencers because I was actually talking to a girlfriend of mine about this last night and she was like, I think it's one of the hardest jobs. Now, wait, hold, because I know I'm hearing a lot of
I disagree.
laughing, but
Yeah.
because it's like if you're doing it in a way where you are making the kind of money some of these influencers make, you you figure you look at an agency, right? Where they
Yeah.
have someone who's hired for creative direction. They have
Right.
someone who's hired for video. They have someone who's hired for editing. They have someone who's
Mhm.
hired for yada yada yada. You're
Yeah.
doing that all yourself. You are that
Right.
person. So there is that where you have
Absolutely.
to execute a lot of times brands will ask for a brief too of saying like, hey, we want to know how this is going to play out. We want to know
Mm.
how it's going to look. But on top of that, you also have to cultivate an audience that knows and trusts you. So it's like you
Right.
also have to be in communications, right? And be like, make sure you're
Media.
actually building something and
Yeah.
not just going in there to sell something, right? Because it's like
Right.
people don't want to just be sold to, they want to have like honest. And this is why
Right.
I always tell people like I've turned down so many brands because I'm like, I don't authentically use this and I don't want to sell something that I don't use, right?
Right.
And so it's like when people are like, "Oh, I want to be an influencer." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's so much more than just, hey, like I love this lip gloss." It's like you have to cultivate the audience first. You have to
Sure.
build the
Absolutely.
trust. Then you're your own
Also,
production company.
listen. we're not saying that it's as hard as being a cardiologist. What we're
No.
saying is
Or
when
a
it comes
stay-at-home
to
mom,
like,
honestly.
right. I think we're just talking in terms of like probably what people's perception is
Yeah, more than
versus the reality
anything.
of it more than anything. Yeah. And I think that like, also not only is it like a lot of criticism that you're opening yourself up to, but a lot of rejection. Like
Oh
this is
my
the other thing
God,
is like
so
when it comes to
much.
acting, modeling, the industry at all, like doing
It's
influencing, doing content
90%
creation,
rejection and
you're gonna
10%
hear no.
approval.
So I will never forget when this mom reached out to me once and she was like, I really want to get my daughter into modeling to help with her self-esteem.
Oh my
And I
God.
said to her, ma'am, I'm being so honest and so for real right now for the sake of your daughter. If your daughter has low self esteem already, I want her as far from modeling as she
Mhm.
possibly can go. Okay.
Mhm.
I want her working a desk job because I cannot, I cannot abide
Mm-mm.
by the idea of somebody with low self esteem getting into modeling for the first time
People
now.
don't realize though. Like when I
You're
tell
going to
you
hear no
this,
so much. How many times have we been told no? How many times have we had carrots dangled in front of us that are like, this is an incredible opportunity. And then it's
right?
just
How
snatched
about
away. Snatch
literally
Tina.
being signed by somebody who earlier on in your career told you you were too fat to model and then being signed
Right.
with them as you were a plus size model. Okay.
Right.
It's
Right.
humbling. So it's
Yeah.
like you get in these situations where you're just like, I would say it's 90% no and 10% approval. And right
Mm,
now, who even knows? I don't even know the landscape right now. It's just
yeah.
insane.
I also think
Um,
that it's funny. I feel like a lot of people get this like rap that they're very conceited.
oh my
If they're
gosh.
like and I feel like in order to like put yourself on screen and take photos of yourself all the time, you do have to have a certain level of like, I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like you almost like need to have a level of delusion to
Yeah.
get you through all of the criticism and all of the no's and all of the rejection because if you don't, like it'll just take you down.
It'll take you down.
And the fact that anyone can cultivate that if they really put their mind to it can kind of just be applied to anybody with any job. Like
Yeah.
it's like if we can do it, everyone can do it. You can cultivate that like ability to take the rejection and not take it on yourself.
Yeah. And at the end
And the
of the
more you get
day,
rejected, you get good at it. Dude, I'm professional at it right
no,
now.
literally a professional. Same.
No, I'm more of a professional than you at that. You're a professional. You're more of a professional model than me, and I am more of a professional rejection taker.
Kayla.
Because Hunter,
Michaela.
you know I've heard way more no's.
Michaela,
You
I've
know
heard a
I've heard way
lot of
more no's.
no's.
You have,
Kayla.
but not as many as
But
me.
listen, listen. The thing is this. The thing is this.
I'm batting like 3.25 or
No,
something
no.
right now.
I don't even know what
I'm
the
high,
stats.
dude. I'm Shohei Otani with it.
But the thing
I'm
is,
Alex Rodriguez with it.
I also Hudson doing baseball this weekend was the cutest thing ever. And I was trying to reference, dude, I was trying to reference the baseball players and literally I came up with Jackie Robinson and Lou Gehrig. That's how much I don't know baseball.
Well,
I was
they
like, okay,
are
Lou
the
Gehrig. And everyone was
icons.
just like,
Okay, Luke.
okay.
Everyone's like,
Everyone's like, how about someone from this decade who like is, yeah.
literally. Somebody
Um
from this century, actually,
this
if you think
century,
about it.
yeah. But no, it's listen, and at the end of the day, and this is something that you got none of you have ever heard before, and you guys can quote me on this and use it.
This
Please
is the first
make sure you
time
quote me, but rejection is redirection
in protection.
and protection.
That's
And
right.
I know you guys are gasping because this is the first time you've ever heard that.
Put your hands back on the wheel if you're driving.
And
I
let
know
me
that you
listen to this
just.
again. Rejection is redirection and protection. Okay.
That's
And that's
right.
a lot of tions in one sentence. Too many, if you ask me, but it
Mm,
flows. And I thought of that when I made it. Okay.
right. You thought of that on the
I was,
fly.
it's a lot of shuns. Right.
Right.
But I thought this is
Shun
something that
City.
people are going to want to hear.
Yeah. This is something people need to hear.
Yeah. For
And you're here to
sure.
bring the good word.
Yeah. As always, guys.
As always. And thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, God,
Thank you
if it
guys.
isn't another one in the books, if it isn't
It's
another
another
banger, a
one.
slam dunk in the books, we love you guys. And, subscribe to the Patreon, $5 a
Mm-hmm.
month. You guys know the spiel, okay?
Or else.
Or else. Literally, or else, okay?
Literally, or else.
Or else you don't know what's going to happen, okay?
Right. Make sure you guys do, though. $5 a month. You get 2 extra episodes a month. You get full HD video of us, our mugs. Okay.
That's kind of crazy.
Tits up, basically.
Like you can see
And
inside us almost.
you can see inside our mouths. Literally, you can check my molars for me.
You can see my tonsillitis currently.
Yes. You get all of the episodes with 0 ads, not an ad in sight, not a single ad.
Yeah, I wish there was.
We wish there was.
We wish there was so many ads. Like we literally couldn't do this.
No. Listen, we got some fire ads going on over there on Libsyn. Libsyn's hooking it up. You guys, I got a payout from Instagram for a reel. Sent it to Hunter, and I sent my invoice. By the way, think about how much actual money it took to even write up an invoice.
That was from a reel?
It was like a real bonus payout. How much was it, Hunter? Share with the class.
Share the wealth, because share what you're making. Michaela, you have to share.
Don't ever say
that you're not wealthy.
That creators are not wealthy and are not raking in the dough. How much was it for, Hunter?
Cent.
It was 1 cent. Dude, fuck my drag. 1 cent. I literally want to throw my phone.
I cannot, dude. Honestly.
I was like, okay.
Fruitful.
Literally sponsoring my trip to London. Let's go.
Fruitful.
For literally me to half a step forward. That's how much it's going to, the second I step out the door, I have to pay a cent every step. I got 1 step covered.
Oh my God, dude. Honestly, iconic.
Honestly, at this point,
love it. Print it out, put it on the wall.
Along with all of my like Queen Latifah show residuals. Which I'll get every 2 years. It's like $3.
No, dude, same.
Because it was shown in like Uzbekistan or something.
Shrill residuals.
Are those okay? Are they good or no?
They're like good, dude. So I can't even imagine if someone.
You got to live off the residuals. If you want to be an actor, just understand you got to get something we're going to get good residuals.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's
also don't be an actor.
That's also
it's a
only
bad idea.
network TV, and no one watches network TV anymore. It's so sad. Okay.
Literally.
Anyways,
all right, we gotta go. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can catch a new episode of Model Citizen every Thursday. And please don't forget to follow the podcast so you don't miss any of the action. We want to hear from you. So please leave a rating and review and follow us on socials for all the behind the scenes action at Hunter McGrady and Michaela McGrady. And don't forget, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are capable of doing all wonderful things. Bye, guys.